Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is August 12th, 2025. And before we begin, I would like to go ahead and ring the meditation symbol to clear space and energy, and then we can get started. I welcome in my spirit guides and holy angels, nights and greatest good. I welcome messages of love and light to bring healing and love to all. Please bless this reading. Thank you. All right, guys. So yesterday was August 11th, and Mercury stationed direct at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's like 12:29 a.m. Pacific Time. And basically, it is in the sign of Cancer. So, if you've been feeling a little bit emotional towards the end of this retrograde, what it means is that communication, technology, and travel delays will ease up. Things will start to move forward. Yeah, and so this shadow period should last for a period of 2 weeks. And so it's really interesting because when I started this video recording, I had a lot of hiccups. And so it's still very much present in terms of technology. And in case you guys are not on my Instagram, I actually went to Sedona last week and visited one of the vortex portals that was in the area. And I didn't really have any kind of like idea of what I would experience at one of those vortex sites. But I would like to share a story. So I was there with my boyfriend, and we were on the plateau. And so he asked, universe or the powers that may be, let there be wind. And there was a gust of wind that came through. And then he said, let the wind blow harder. And then instantly the wind blew harder. It was such a surreal experience that, like, everything that we asked actually manifested instantly, like without any delay. So I felt that that was actually kind of interesting. So if you guys had a personal experience with one of Sedona's vortex sites, you can share your experience down below. So with that being said, I would like to read a little bit here that I saw before I came on. And so basically, it says that the end of the retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Cancer, ends as it stations direct at 4 degrees of Leo. And in the shadow, even though Mercury is direct, the shadow period is about 2 weeks, which the lingering effects of the retrograde can still be felt. And this period is a time for reviewing, reflecting, and making final decisions on matters that have been affected by the retrograde. So, whatever that has happened, let's just say, I think it was, what day was it? Like August. It was actually June 26th or 27th, something like that, right? Or July 26, 27. Since the end of last month, going up until this month, like what has happened? Okay. And really reflect on that. And what did you become clear on? Okay. So as we are going direct, just really think about what has happened in the past few weeks. And now's the time to be focused on the things that you would like to do moving forward. And so the direct motion of Mercury in Cancer emphasizes emotional clarity, communication, and decision making, particularly in the areas related to home, family, and relationships. So I wanted to share that with you. Like, I know that there are kids that are going back to school, especially on the East Coast in the United States. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I believe in European countries, you guys, like your children, might be starting school in the middle of August. So there could be some sort of clarity, like a movement forward, like things are coming into motion. But with that being said, okay, let's go ahead and dive deep into this week's reading. Okay. Okay, so for this week, I decided to use, I believe this is the Good Witch Tarot deck. Also, this is Numerology. And then next we have here Burning Heart, Love Oracle, and last but not least, the Spirit Animal Oracle. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. I would like to actually work with the numerology deck first. Spirit and Holy Angels, can you please reveal to me clear messages in regards to the collective energies of the divine counterpart of the person who is watching this reading? What do we need to know about that person's energy in the present moment? What is the current situation now that Mercury has gone direct? Thank you, Spirit. Well, so we have here a new beginning and time out and self-discipline here in reverse. And then also we have compassion. So this is what I'm hearing. You know, divine masculines, they're actually at the end of a cycle. And this is in regards to their achievements. This is in regards to being fulfilled in whatever way. You know, there is this crown chakra that is actually opening for the masculines. And because of this, this is actually giving the masculine collective this like birthing of something new, like a new beginning. This is kind of also like the initiation. But the same token, you know, with this new beginning comes a timeout. Okay. So, you know, I really feel that this is kind of in alignment with the energy, because even though that Mercury has gone direct, there is the post shadow, which lasts for a period of 2 weeks. So that's kind of like in alignment with, I believe we have another moon at the end of the month. And with that, that is going to be the lead up into the September month. And so for right now, there is a period where the masculines are resting, you know, before they embark like this new beginning. They are thinking, okay, like how are they going to go about doing this? And I also see here self-discipline. You know, they're not very disciplined enough to have this new beginning. So it's almost as if the idea is there, but is their idea going to work out? Okay. So masculines, they're at the end of this cycle. They're really thinking of the feminine. They don't want to force this. They don't want to rush it. They want to be gentle in their approach. So that's the reason why they're taking a time out. So if you've been talking to your divine counterpart during this retrograde energy, I have a feeling that the masculines, they want to have a fresh new start, but they need to take a moment to think which direction that they want to go. This is in terms of their career, their finances, their relationship with divine feminine. This is also matters of the home, family, okay, and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot to consider, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. So allow for the counterpart to digest and process the information so that they can make a good decision moving forward. Okay, so let's see what else. Spirit and holy angels, can you please reveal to me clear messages and how the masculine collective, how are they currently thinking of the viewer? How are they feeling? What is it that they want? And what is the outcome? What is the energy of the masculine towards the feminine at this time? What does the viewer need to know about their counterpart? Okay, so your person, they had some sort of idea, okay? They really care. They care about you. They care about like their family. However, they're not putting things into motion. At least that's how they're thinking. There is an idea that they're coming up with. However, for some of these masculines, they feel that they are not present with the feminine to give them what you may need in a 3D sense. Okay, so for some, you guys are in separation or you guys are apart. They're actually looking to see how can they protect the feminine, how can they offer their support to the feminine. And I see here a cat, so they're fishing. Okay, they're fishing with their intuition. Also, if you've been with me on this channel, there are two types of intelligences that I always talk about, and that is mind-to-mind connection and heart-to-heart connection. And I really feel as if the masculine is trying to feel rather than to, see with their eyes. So not really trying to use their head because essentially, that could be the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a practical person, but right now they don't think that it's a practical thing to expedite or move forward at this time. I really feel like this is a planning process. So how are they feeling? Yeah, exactly. So they're making a plan, okay, on how they can get out of feeling lack, how they can get out of their financial situation, okay. So if they were to make a move towards the feminine, they would be losing something, okay. So I really feel as if they're thinking what their next step should be. It's a burden for this masculine, 10 of Wands. There's so much to carry, there's so much to do. And how is this person going to move things forward? Like trying to do this incognito or just like behind the scenes without revealing like their plans, their intentions. Because I really feel as if there's so many people that is tied down to this masculine, and it's a big decision and a big choice. So what does the masculine want? They're holding back. They're holding back from making a plan because they're not clear. So again, I really feel like this is actually on point in my opinion, because first of all, Mercury went direct yesterday. I mean, if the masculines were totally clear on their next steps and their plan, even in the shadow phase, then kudos to them, right? But I really feel that, as Mercury is stationing direct, I mean, that's just like, you're at a stop sign and then you slowly like progress to go forward, right? You don't just stop and then like speed up, because it's just too fast. So you want to do this at a normal rate. So I feel as if the masculines, they're just holding back on wanting to make some plans at the moment. But I see that, they are in love with the feminine. They adore you. Okay. They're making plans. They're trying to figure out how to do it. Okay. And then we have here the King of Swords. So they are wanting to communicate clearly, and not be like not clear with their intentions or their plans, their purpose. This is actually good. We have 3 out of the 4 kings. We have King of Cups. We have here the King of Pentacles. And we have here the King of Swords. We're just missing King of Wands. So masculines have made a decision because they're not ready yet. Okay. They know that as much as they want to move forward, they're not in that position yet. I would say, give it a couple of weeks and see like where is the masculine at. Okay. Because it takes time to process this energy from what I can see. Okay, so I see that in the next couple of months, they're going to cut off a relationship. Okay, it could be a relationship, it could be a situation, a partnership, it could be a job, a career, a business partner. That's what their first step is. Okay, they're not happy with what is going on in that situation. So instead of the next 2 weeks, I'm seeing 2 months. And 2 months from now, this is October. I think that's October 12th, right? So right now it's August 12th. So August to September and September to October. So around the middle of October, and I believe that's Libra season, your person is going to end a situation. Okay. This could take up until 5 months from now. Okay, so that's August, September, October, November, December at the end of the year. Okay, there could be some endings that's going on. And whatever that ending is, it's necessary for them to make an offer to divine feminine or the viewer who is watching this. What I'm hearing is that they can't move forward. Okay, they can't go on. They want to give, it's going to take time. So again, for my twin flame community, if you've been, very patient, with how things are progressing in your situation with your divine counterpart, you have to let go of ego. You have to let go of the timelines, because if you're good on that, then this is nothing, right? But if you're new to the whole twin flame concept, this might be a little bit challenging, because everybody wants to instantly manifest the thing that they want right now. Okay, but I can tell you, some things take time. You can't force a situation. Some people have to go through karmic situations before they can move on towards the feminine energy. And some of the twins, ultimately, depends on their free will, may not come into a physical union, and that's fine too. But what I'm seeing here is that this particular collective, your person, is going to get out of a situation in the next 2 to 5 months. Okay, because they can't take it anymore. Okay, whatever that means, if this is resonating with you so far, with their person. After that, Okay, then slowly they'll be able to make this offer in the next year. Okay, but this is going to take time because we're actually a little past the halfway mark of this year, and this is going to take until December. So yeah, it's gonna take time, guys. Okay. Bottom of the deck, I see here Judgment. So they have made a decision, okay, to put their butt into gear. Okay, they want to heal the connection, and they're in their head about how hard it would be. Okay, but they know that they're stuck in their head. Okay, if they're thinking about that, they're just going to perpetuate, the stuck energy. And with the Five of Wands, they're trying to get out of this, okay? Because they want a happily ever after. They want to, live out their life with, someone, okay, or it could be a something, whatever this is, that is going to make them happy for the next 10 years or more. So your person's at a point where they want to make plans. And here's the King of Wands. They're making plans. I really feel like some of you guys are at a distance here, okay, with your person. And it will take time. I do see that. So you guys can come together and have like this picnic by the river with the family. Like this person really wants to spend time with you, okay? So that's what I have for this week. Let me go ahead and see what else. Spirit, what additional messages does the person want to communicate to the viewer who is watching? What is the message that wants to come through? They'll never compare to you. Okay, so if your person was dealing with the karmic, they will never compare to you. Okay, don't put yourself in the same category as the other person. Is there another message? Every time my phone rings, I hope it's you. So this person has been hoping that you contact them. Okay. And that must mean for someone, okay, especially if you're refusing to reach out and contact them, and let's just say a lot of time has passed, like they're hoping it's you. Okay, so maybe somebody has changed their phone number, maybe someone is not blocked anymore. You're worth more to me than I let on. So they have not really expressed how much you are to them. You're worth more than what words can say, or their actions for that matter. So let's go ahead and see what is the final spirit message that wants to come through. So spirit and holy angels, what is the message that this collective needs to know? What is it that they need to know? What is the message that this collective needs to know? Oh, we have B spirit. Sweet results await. So let me go ahead and read what that says. It's in number 7. Okay. It says the bee spirit message is that sweet rewards are on the way if you're willing to let go of your ego out of the way to immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey, miracles, and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee Spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity, your heart, your body, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self forget. When you remember that you're a part of a greater unified consciousness, moving from separation into connection, from self centered limitation to spirit centered infinite possibility and potential. You become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of bee spirit. Fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you seemingly without effort as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the pressure of your helpers in the hidden realms, adding their energy to your creations? Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. So try not to control outcomes, okay? Just go with the flow, do your thing. Sweet results await, okay? Again, let go of ego about like when you think that this should happen or how it should happen. If it's going to happen, it will happen. Okay? You have to trust, release and let go, especially for my twins who have been on this journey for such a long time. Sweet results await. If you don't try to manipulate like how things are going to play out and it happens naturally, that's 10 times better than trying to force an outcome. Okay. um it says magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee Spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership of the conscious universe is being rewarded even if you cannot see it yet, and ask that you share your good fortune as there is plenty of honey for all. Be a part of a larger whole and the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. So here is the protection message, and I feel like it's relevant. It says, when Bee Spirit comes as your protector, she asks that you be very honest with yourself. Do you want to taste the sweet honey others have been making, but you believe is unattainable for you? Do you wonder how others ended up with so much magical honey and you seem to have none? Have you bought into the illusion of separation and become convinced that you can't have what others in the hive enjoy? Do you separate your from the hive to do it all your own, or to hoard what honey you have, unwilling to trust that there is plenty of support and plenty of sweetness to go around? If you have been overworking and overdoing and have not given yourself any time to enjoy the sweetness of your life, Bee Spirit is telling you to stop and recharge. Perhaps you're afraid that if you don't get something done, it just won't get done. However, even busy bees need to take a break. And when they do, the honey gets made. So remind yourself that sweetness is everywhere and available to you and always when you need it. That is kind of like myself. I work a lot, guys. I work every day, and I probably work more than most people. Like, I work during the daytime, I work throughout the afternoon, and I work in the evening. I am a worker bee. But the thing to try to understand and realize that, yeah, time seems to be linear, right? Like, we all have to get things done in a certain time period. But if you are burnt out and you need time for yourself because you're getting burnt out, take a break, okay? Trust me, I've been on this channel for many years. If you don't take a break and you keep going, you are headed for burnout. Okay, balance is necessary. And you have to be gentle with yourself. You know, just because you feel like, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, then the thing that you want is not going to manifest. That's BS, okay? Like, if there's something that you really want, you will receive it. You just have to believe. You don't always have to be like always in the doing, and if you are, that's more masculine energy. You have to balance out your masculine and feminine energy, and especially your divine counterpart. And if it's not the divine counterpart, it's someone or something that is going to match your vibration. So you always have to watch your vibration. You always have to make sure that you're in check, because if not, things are going to get wobbly. Okay, guys, that's the advice for this week. Be the bee spirit, It's okay to take a break and smell the flowers and not make the honey. So I hope that was helpful. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can do so. My sale actually ends on the first week of September. So if you've been booking readings with me and enjoying the discounts for the summer, now is the perfect time to book a reading. And then once like September rolls around, then it's back to the old, the old same old is what I say. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.